Thank you. Now, live on air, madam, we start program. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very warm welcome to another edition of our evening talk. And today is very, very special because the two occasions. One is today's World Environment Day. The whole focus is on how to avoid plastics. We have done a number of events on that, and we'll be doing more. So please avoid plastics. And you are eating snacks. Don't bite whatever comes with a plastic cover. When you enjoy the program, eat what comes in the paper cover. So idea is the plastics one is very, very dangerous for our environment, and wish you all very, very excellent and wonderful environmental day. To save the future, we have to really put in tremendous effort to make sure that we avoid plastics. That is the theme of the World Environment Day today. Now, coming to today's event, a very, very special event for us. Before I will introduce the chairperson for this evening and the other speakers will be introduced, let me briefly tell you what's happening in MMA in this month so that you don't miss them if you are missed in your inbox. So many events are happening. The first one is happening on 14th of June. The talk on sensitivity and specialty of ophthalmology. And we have one of the outstanding Dr. Arulmari Varman. He's going to talk to us what all the technology change that has been coming in the treatment of ophthalmology and how should make best use of that, because this is an area which is very, very important. So much of advancement has come. I thought we must make our members be aware of some of the technology so that they are very comfortable in taking ophthalmology issues to the conclusion. And Kumar will be chairing this session, our managing committee member. On 15th of June, it's all happening in person at MMA Management Center. Today, unfortunately, we have to do this online because both the speakers are away from Chennai. One is from Mumbai, other one is from Delhi. Hence, we are bringing this program to you live online. Then on 15th of June, we have an event, very, very special event, the Journey of a Champion. This is, we got three outstanding champions going to be talking to us. Mr. Viswanathan Anand, former world chess champion, grandmaster. Then also Geet Sethi, former world billiard champion. And Viren Raskwina, former Indian hockey captain. So we got three outstanding sports personality coming and talking to us on the making of a journey of a champion and what they really gone through, or the obstacles, how to mind your set. And they also be talking to us about the Olympic Gold Quest, OGQ, and you all must have heard about it, how to get that 1 gram of gold, how much the people sweat it out and fight it out to get that Olympic gold, and what are the preparations happening and how the sportsmen are geared and prepared to meet this eventuality of getting more gold medals to India. So please come and join us on 15th evening at MMA Management Center. On 20th again evening, routine program, regular program, what we have been doing it, especially for the management students, Read and Grow. The talk of this program is a guide to wealth of happiness. This is what is the program for that evening. It's happening at MMA. We've got Babu Krishnamurthy will be leading the conversation. Two more speakers will be joining us during that event. Then on 23rd, we are having a full day seminar on the real estate, agile, and this we are doing in joint with Society of what we mean by agile in the area of real estate sector. You know, real estate sector contributes significantly to our GDP growth, and the turnover is phenomenal. And this is an issue which touches everybody in the society. Some point or other, you buy a property, you maintain a property, or sell a property, it's all happening. We have got experts to come and discuss with you what it means in terms of financial accounting, in terms of joint development, in terms of safety and security in real estate industry, where the DG from the Ministry of Labor is going to be coming and talking to us, technology in the area of real estate sector, tax issues of GST. It's a full-fledged package from morning till evening. Come and join us. We are doing it jointly with Society of Auditors. It is happening at MMA Management Center. It's a paid program, but a very, very nominal charges. As usual, MMA will be charging you, and look out for the more information on that. Then on 26th of June, again, we have a very, very interesting talk on urbanization, social changes, and development in the Tamil Nadu experience. And urbanization, I don't know to tell you how much impact in the city and the load on the city. We got two outstanding speakers, Vijay Bhaskar, Professor of Madras Institute of Management, and also Purnalingam, former IAS officer, retired, and former Secretary of the Government of India. We got Satyamurthy, and we have also on a corporate leader been joining us. Then on 28th of June, we have a conclave on another interesting event happening at MMA, Generative AI, the future is here. And we are talking all about artificial intelligence and how generative AI is going to impact Chat GPT and all other medium of thing. And we have got some outstanding speakers, including Jasprit Bindra. You know, he writes regularly. You must have seen him His authority on AI, writes regular articles. He'll be talking to us. He's also doing his PhD in Cambridge and outstanding speaker. Then we also lined up some outstanding panel of speakers covering over 4 sessions. Again, is happening this conclave at MMA Management Center from 9:30 to 5. Again, it's a paid event. Please do come. And if you want to know all about AI, because the AI is an area which is impacting every aspects of your life. And is it impacting for good or impacting for bad? What is going to happen? How we are going to use ChatGPT? How we are going to do some of the areas where AI is coming and playing a very vital role in terms of tourism, in terms of treatments which are doing already, in terms of hotel bookings and hotel, in terms of every area, wherever human beings are involved, AI is getting involved. Is it good or bad? Please come and listen to us on things. These are some of the events. There are so many events are filled up. One very, very important, which I want to tell you, is on the 7th of July, MMA award function, the AGM. Please do come. That's a day we celebrate our success over the year. We've done some phenomenal events. We've done over 50 events a month and from 587 events last year. And over 4.5 lakhs of people have watched our program online and offline. And some phenomenal event. We already will be sharing with you the account, the notice for the meeting, as well as the annual report soon. Coming to today's event, it's very, very interesting because really wanted to showcase the rise of women in public sector. Maybe there's a month where we are talking quite a lot about women empowerment. Yesterday, we had an event on the women leadership, how women can really enhance the leadership qualities, promote an off-day workshop, brilliant one, presented by Dr. Ranjini Manian, and where we had 50 women leaders, women managers attending this event at MMA. And I have to see to believe each one of them were so outstanding, top-most leaders from some of the best corporates and also some of the best IT companies. And one thing came, that women are in leadership position. They are here. They come here to stay. And one thing which also came out during the thing is over 86% of the women really do what men do, and they are very focused, and they do much more than women because they are very humane. And 16% of the women are where the men take over in terms of strategy, in terms of focus. But they also discussed yesterday that how women at times are very humane in terms of approaching to various issues. Is it affecting the leadership? We had an outstanding talk yesterday. And we also one of the important things came out, Marshall Goldsmith brought out in Harvard Business Review, one of the book, The Rise of Women, where he said, all the women leaders are so good. They are they focus so much. They go to every blip which is available on them for them to take intervention. And that what happens, they send their focus on everything. Whereas men are focusing on where it really matters, return of investment, strategy, and their perfection execution. So some of the things which came out in the workshop, and we are doing more such workshops in future, so that we want to really develop women leadership to be a top notch. So one such initiative, what we are doing it today, the rise of women in public sector. Many of you knew very few about a public sector undertaking. We know about what is the public sector undertaking, and unless you listen to the people who are working and gone to the level of senior executive, you don't know what exactly the opportunity exit available there. And we have 3 outstanding women. One is going to be chairing the session. Other 2 are going to be sharing with us their experience of how, as a leader, what they excelled in whatever activities they do in the area of public sector. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my proud privilege to welcome 3 outstanding women speakers for this evening. Nisha Dhingra, she's a company secretary of ONGC Videsh, and also woman director on the board of ONGC Videsh Limited. Very warm welcome to Nisha. It's a pleasure to have you this evening. Let me also welcome Sabitha Natraj. Sabitha is the Chief General Manager, Retail Academy and E-Learning, head office in Indian Oil Corporation Limited, Mumbai. Very warm welcome to Sabitha. MMA is not new to us, new to you. We have already come and spent a lot of time at the MMA. And Dr. Lata, Rajagopalan Kumar is a consultant, communication and development. She's a part of our women empowerment team. We have a women business forum, which really does quite a bit of work. Lata will explain to you more about women business and what does it mean by the forum and what are we doing other than this talk. Quite a bit. We have a very, very strong women who are part of this group. And tell a few words about Lata before I request you to say. She will also introduce the speakers for this evening. The format of this evening, after Lata's opening remarks, each of the speakers will be requested to speak for about 10-15 minutes on their theme, on their choice of relevant to their working. And thereafter, there'll be a conversation between Lata and the other two speakers. In the meanwhile, if you have any question, share it in the chat box. And also send your question to the numbers which is flashed on your screen. We'll collate all the questions and we'll place it before the distinguished panelists. Lata is a consultant, as I mentioned, and communication development member. She got a PhD in communication, mass media, and studied in the University of Madras Research Method Center. And she's very, very passionate. She works very closely with us, only in the area of women empowerment. She also works very closely with us in the NGO, doing some CSR work and communication work. And she's a very, very outstanding sports personality. She is also former tennis player, represented Madras University in Tamil Nadu State and all the inter-university tournaments. And she also won a bronze medal in national games. Very keen interest in classical art and reading. Over to you, Lata, to set the context, opening remarks, and also introduce the speaker. Once again, very warm welcome to all the people who have joined us online. And you have been muted for our convenience. And you have got any question, you can share your question in the chat box too. It will be picked up and placed before the distinguished speakers. Over to you, Lata.
Thank you, Captain. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another exciting session of the Women's Business Forum of MMA. Before I introduce our speakers, I would like to share a quick note on the activities of the forum. We are a 3-member team with Ms. Maithili at the helm, steering this effort to promote career growth in general and among women in particular. The objective has been to enhance career and motivate women at any stage of their work life, whether it is business, practice, or profession, and to move to the next level. We have been doing this through a series of talks, discussions, and interviews. Our speakers have been inspiring women who are looking to resume their career, and to help women who are resuming their career after a break, and women who want to change their career at a later stage, or women who are looking for growth in their existing jobs. We've had motivational speakers, masterclasses, and insightful speeches covering a wide range of topics, from personal branding and personality building to starting a business and handling work-life balance. Today, we have 2 successful professionals who will share their thoughts and experiences with us. Srimati Nisha Dhingra, a senior executive and director with ONGC Videsh, and Mrs. Sabitha Natraj, Chief General Manager, IOC. And the reason we have them here is not just to hear about their respective successful careers and challenges and experiences, but also to understand how public sector works today and what kind of opportunities it offers, especially for women, and what kind of growth prospects it offers and how. Srimati Nisha Dhingra is a qualified company secretary, cost accountant, and lawyer. She also holds bachelor's degree in commerce from Delhi University. Presently, she holds the position of company secretary and key managerial personnel of ONGC Videsh Limited. She is also women director on the board of ONGC Videsh Rovuma Limited. She started her career in 2001 at the age of 21, and during her 22 plus years of service, she has worked in telecom, oil and gas industry, handling corporate law, steering board and committee meetings, secretarial compliances, liaising with MCA, SEBI, and RTA, conducting general meetings of shareholders, treasury activities, corporate finance, and SAP module development. She was given Professional of the Year 2022 award for her exemplary performance. She is married to a chartered accountant working as a senior executive, and they have 2 daughters. Ms. Sabitha Natraj, Chief General Manager, Retail Academy and E-L&D, handles capability building and online learning portfolio, among other things, in Indian Oil Corporation Limited. She brings with her nearly 3 decades of rich experience across verticals like retail sales, communications, marketing, and sustainability development. She joined Indian Oil in 1993 at New Delhi and has held leadership positions in retail and corporate communications departments at Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai. A gold medalist in Executive MBA from the Management Development Institute, Gurugram, she has won several awards. To name a few, she was awarded Women Executive of the Year for Oil and Gas Industry in 2017, Women Executive of the Decade Award at the Women's Economic Forum 2018, has been featured in the Hall of Fame of PR professionals at the Public Relations Council of India, one outstanding achiever in the field of marketing communications in 2016. She is also a proud recipient of a citation and special jury award for media management during the Chennai floods from Association of Business Communicators in 2018. She has also been panel speaker at World Communications Forum in Switzerland and regular motivational speaker and guest lecturer at several institutions. We're eager to hear both of them today, and I hand over to Ms. Nisha Dhingra.
Thank you, Lata. Before Nisha, 1 minute, let me warmly welcome Mr. K. Batmanaban. You know, Batmanaban is former director of ONGC and well-wisher, member of managing committee. Good to see you, Mr. Batmanaban. Sorry, over to you, Nisha. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Captain Vijay and Dr. Lata, for such a warm introduction. Greetings to Madam Sabitha Natraj, my co-speaker, and all the participants here for this session. My slot is for 15 minutes, and I will try my best to justify the same. Would try to run this 4 or 5 slides presentation for the benefit of one and all. Dear friends, before directly coming to our today's theme, would like to start with a quote. And certain inherent qualities of every woman to rise is any sector or forum of life. Here it is. There is no force equal to a woman determined to rise. हमारे आदरणीय पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी ने भी कहा है, लोगों को जगाने के लिए महिलाओं का जागृत होना जरूरी है. So dear friends, let us all committed to start with confident and optimistic. If any opportunity knocks our door, let us believe and say, yes, I can do. Things will fall in line automatically. To go further, be productive, taking meaningful assignments that will allow us to contribute significantly to our profession as well as for our company. Hopefully, presentation is visible to all of you.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next on the list is go-getter. Dear friends, always remember that leader is always one. Don't ever hesitate to initiate any process. Be an agile leader, very quick and responsive. Believe me, followers will be there. Unafraid to stand up with our belief. If you believe that certain actions are good for your profession as well as for your company, then let nobody stop you. Unbothered by what others may say or think. हम लोगों ने सबने सुना है, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. Please, let me tell you this, no matter what you do, someone will always be unhappy, always, in every action and reactions. So let us be yourself, do with full courage, and don't stop until we are satisfied that whatever we want, we have achieved. Last but not the least, highest integrity. Above all qualities of any human being, integrity that is trustworthy is the must. To be a woman of integrity is to be consistent in actions and alignment of beliefs. Okay. That was the small certain inherent qualities of every woman that I shared with you. Everything is there in us. We have to just explore within us the basic qualities of a bright woman. With this, let us now proceed to today's theme, that is rights of women in public sector. Dear friends, progressive and empowering policies of public sector nowadays are providing ample opportunities to women to excel in their career as well as to maintain work-life balance. Let us now discuss some of the issues faced by a woman in the past and the progress being made in recent times. First one, we can discuss about family-related issues and work-life balance. Yes, friends, certain period of life is definitely more sensitive for a woman. So supporting work-life balance is vital for women empowerment and Believe me, public sector is taking due care of all these matters nowadays. You can see from the screen also, we are getting 180 days maternity leaves up to 2 children, 730 days childcare leaves are there. There is always a woman representative in panel for selection as well as for promotions. Compulsory training are also being organized for the career progress in institutes like IIM also. Henceforth, next on the line is fear of sexual harassment. Dear friends, in compliance to POSH Act, Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act 2013, every company has constituted internal complaints committee to deal with all such matters. Moreover, nowadays, this unwelcome behavior is also included as misconduct in disciplinary rules of every company. But here, as a woman, I would prefer to make an appeal in favor of our men's colleague also. Dear ladies, my humble request that don't even think of using this forum against any man for any other reason whatsoever may be. If certain benefits are given to us for our advancement, for our career, we should be very, very cautious to use that forum for any reason. Thank you. Next on the line is gender pay gap. In public sector, there are fixed determined pay scales and other entitlements as per level in the company without any discrimination between men and women. Wow. See the amazing ladies on the screen who have already broke the glass ceiling. Happy to see Dr. Alka Mittal. She was the first director HR and also to head the company like ONGC as CEO, Chief Executive Officer. Simply an unforgettable personality. Then we have Madam Pomila Jaspar, our first Director Finance and Chief Financial Officer. And now I am privileged to introduce Madam Shushma Rawat, who is the first lady technical director in the nature of business like oil and gas. She is our Director Exploration. Dear friends, they have arose to this level of directors and chairmen from executive level 1 of public sector. More so, I am glad to inform that the last year annual report of ONGC like Maharatna company was signed by 2 directors, 2 lady directors, happens to be CEO and CFO of the company, Dr. Alka Mittal and Madam Pomila Jaspar. We really salute them and get all the encouragement from them to achieve more. Great. Look at the screen, dear friends. Wonderful young ladies working hand in hand with the men in the oil fields nowadays. Oil and gas industry happens to be a most riskiest business in this world. But you can see how wonderfully young girls are being introduced in the oil fields in every oil and gas industries nowadays. Nowadays, women are keeping a strong presence in practically every field that once was dominated by men. During pandemic, when the movements were restricted, these ladies as energy soldiers stayed in the field for more than 60 days in continuation. And the public sector company like ONGC took care of their families when they were not there. Certain other achievements, other things have been happening in the companies like ONGC, like nowadays buddy system is there. No woman is allowed to remain alone in the fields. Some male colleague will 100% be accompanied by them all the time. Also, nowadays in the fields of offshore and onshore, when the percentage of women are increasing, many women utilities in the fields are being constructed for their comfort and benefits. Yes. Now on the screen, we have Forum of Women in Public Sector. This is a great forum. This is the forum being established under the leadership of SCOPE, Standing Conference of Public Enterprise, way back in February 1990. This forum deals with the issues related to the progress and advancement of women in the public sector. They meet annually to deal with all such matter. And they are making a great progress in the development of public sector women. Many benefits and many policies of the public sector are being introduced by Forum of Women in Public Sectors and taken by all the public sector companies for the benefit of their women employees. Dear friends, you can see some of the basic data of the presence of women in complete public sector, which we have taken from the PE survey reports of DPE, Department of Public Enterprise. Among the total workforce, last year we have 9.12% as women workforce in PSUs. Going further, this data we can see for our for ONGC group of companies also. In ONGC, among total workforce, 8% of the 8% is women in workforce. The industry like oil and gas, where still there are resistance by the women to come and take up the assignment. Still we have 8%. We are striving for more and more in this field. Our policies, our initiatives are striving more and more to women employees to get into the business so that we can have equal head counts in men and women in the coming years in ONGC. Hats off to our HR in the ONGC. Dear friends, you can also see the third one, that within the women employees, our professional category of employees are 67% as against 51% among men. So even though the percentage of women of work cons is not equal, but still being in the professional category, we are ahead of men right now. 61% QN qualified. QN qualified are the highest professional qualified persons in ONGC. Dear friends, with this, I would like to limit my words with some takeaway from my course personal beliefs. Be firm but polite, assertive and not rude. PSUs are actually giving ample opportunities to women. Let us grasp and grow. Every single opportunity is knocking the door of men and women equally in the public sector. It's up to us how we explore ourselves and how we explore the possibilities given to us by the management, by the economy at large. Nobody is stopping us to do anything in the company. It's our perspective, it's our limitation that is coming in between. Finally, no superwoman syndrome, please. It's okay if we are unable to juggle all the successful tasks at the same times. As a woman, as a wife, as a mother, and as a professional in the company. Let us try our best and leave the rest. Thank God. With this, I'm thankful to MMA for giving me an opportunity to present my views in for this forum of Rise of Women in the Public Sector. And I hand over to Madam Natraj for sharing her wisdom on the topic, please. Thank you.
Sharing our thoughts. Am I audible, Captain?
Yeah, sure. Yes, madam. Good, stand 5. Go ahead, please.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Captain Vijay Kumar, Dr. Lata Kumar, Shri Atul Singh, Shri Padmanabhan, and the bright and dynamic Madras Management Association members, and all those who are connected online and seeing this program live. A very cheery good evening to everyone here. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So here's a shout out to all the women who excel in every role that they play to the fullest, whether it is in terms of a corporate professional, a homemaker, a school or college student, or that of an entrepreneur. Women have it in them to excel in their fields and still have considerable energy left out in them to reach out and touch lives, whether at home with their maidservants or vegetable vendors, at school or college with their roadside snacks vendors, or at work with their housekeeping personnel, or in terms of their security guards too. Women try to reach out and touch lives. This perhaps is the organical essence that a woman brings to the corporate table, and she tries to play her role better and brighter. Sessions like these by Captain Vijay Kumar and Dr. Lata Kumar and the Madras Management Association aims to bring out the inherent nurturing and entrepreneurial spirit in women. And as Robin Sharma said, the investment that we make in ourselves is the best investment that one can actually look out for, because it not only improves ourselves, it also improves every one of those who are around us. So I would say a woman joining a public sector is one of the best investments that she's making herself and for improving the lives of those around her. And as Nisha Madam said, PSU is an equal opportunity provider. It is about you passing through your merit. There is absolutely no gender parity in your recruitment. There is no gender inclusion in your recruitment. You merit it out and then you are joined in. There is absolutely no, kind of difference or discrimination in the pay packets that you get, whether it is in terms of perks or otherwise. There is always equal opportunity that is provided for your ascension. And in terms of your life cycle enabling needs, the PSU is always walking in step with you. So it is almost like a recruit to retire phenomenon. Many of the, even my children, they wonder, how many years have you put into an organization? It's just almost like 3 decades, and they, they smile and they're quite surprised always as to how we can stick on. But that is what the essence of a public sector undertaking is. It is almost a recruit to retire phenomenon, and you need to experience the life in a public sector for you to understand the innate strengths that it can offer, especially to women. The other point that I would like to highlight here is the impact and influence that a woman or a careerist has in a PSU is immense. It is almost equivalent to that of an administrative officer. If you are in a PSU, the kind of influence that you can wield with your position and take charge of the changes that you can make in your role impacts the life of commoners around you. There are about 50,000 touch points in Indian Oil, and by touch points, I would only highlight it is in terms of customer facing points that you have where you can reach out and engage with the customers. There are about 3.25 crore of tire calls every day, the marketing division in our fuel outlets. 27 lakh cylinders are delivered to, per day to homes, and we have about 3,500 aircrafts being refueled every day. To that extent, we have almost like 124 location in charges. Location in charge, I would like to highlight, are people who are manning an AFS, which refuels aircrafts, are people who are actually the head of locations where they are taking forward the fueling part of everyday needs, and also location in charge who are in charge of the LPG needs, the cylinders that get delivered to your store doorstep on a day-to-day. We have more than 124 location in charges, women who are taking care of these responsibilities on a day-to-day basis. And we have terminal in charges, especially in terms of you have storage locations which reaches out tank trucks or fuel trucks to the storage, to the refueling points. So there are women who are taking the responsibilities of ensuring that these customer facing touch points are alive and catering to the needs of the customers. So as a decision maker, when you join an PSU, and when you grow up the ladder, and when you come up to a decision making stage, the possibilities are immense for you to influence and impact. The role that I am in now, it is in terms of whether it is in terms of an e-learning platform or it is in terms of capability building platform. I think I'm in the business of affecting engineering change and building capabilities across all stakeholders involved. Let me give you an example. We have a platform, e-learning platform called Swadhyaya. Now, Swadhyaya is all about self-study. And you would be surprised to know there are almost like 25 lakhs courses that have been consumed across the company on Swadhyaya. Any of the edtech, educational technological platform vendors would be 25 lakh courses is a dream that they could think of. 25 lakh courses across the country, and in terms of 12 lakhs courses only in the marketing division. Even this morning, I had a colleague of mine who walked over and mentioned, Madam, the change that we made in terms of making Swadhyaya being, consumed by more of our officers has resulted in, completion of about 2,000 courses just over the weekend. We made a small tweak in terms of making it a little more enjoyable and for an organic growth, and it we witnessed about 2,000 course completions just over the weekend. So to that extent, it gives you a lot of satisfaction in the way that you're able to take forward your role to the fullest that impacts those around you. We have another module, whether it is in terms of retail academy, where we reach out to the last mile connect, customer facing individuals, whether it is your pump attendants, we call them customer attendants, or our Indian ambassadors, people who reach out LPG cylinders to you. We have a technological intervention there called Sampark. Sampark, the name indicates that it is about connect. And it is a homegrown technological intervention, and through this homegrown intervention we can reach out to 1.5 lakh customer attendants and almost like 1 lakh of LPG delivery boys, to an extent where you can inspire them to work better, you can inspire them to lead their daily lives in a more meaningful way, and at the same time make them feel engaged and feel important. So this is a kind of intervention and the kind of difference that you can make in a decision making role in a PSU. And I always maintain, and in our interaction which we had earlier, a PSU job is almost like equivalent to that of an administrative service job. So if any of you have missed out joining an Indian administrative service, please walk over to a PSU job and you will have your dream fulfilled. And anything about PSU means it's all about scale. You will have to look at it from a nationwide point of view. The kind of expanse is too huge for us, and we are there from north to east to west to south, and the kind of the variety that you bring to your role is immense. So during COVID times, you had PSUs, whether it was the Steel Authority of India or, you had your NTPC or your state, companies, whether it is electricity or waterworks or everybody else, they were working, and every PSU was working 24 hours. And as a HOD, I had to attend office every day during the COVID times. And your fuels were delivered at your retail outlets, your LPG cylinders were delivered at your homes. So this is the kind of scale that you will have to look at when you join a PSU. The life is not easy here, but you will have the satisfaction of catering to a wide variety, and it is more about service. You are servicing the nation through a role that you are having in a decision-making capacity. So that is a huge motivator for any careerist that you would like to come across. And as Madam said, and as Undra Nui very rightly pointed out, the biological need of a woman is very different that of a man. It is not about whether we are equal to a man or not. Our biological needs are very different, and you have a PSU that takes care of every life cycle need of yours. So if you have a maternity leave, you have very flexible childcare leave, or a maternity leave, or a husband joining leave, and your safety security in terms of whether you are posted in a location or if there are any issues, the committees that are formed to take care of all these are given. And in terms of the safety to take care of your progress forward is also given. So while I said there is absolutely no disparity in terms of your pay packets, there is absolutely no kind of differences or discrimination in your ascension, and your life cycle needs are also taken care with all these enabling measures that a PSU comes forward with, and it has evolved multiple times in the last 10-15 years. Let me also bring to table if you look at PSU, there are three aspects that you will come across: a Mini Ratna, a Navratna, and a Maharatna. A Maharatna is one, under Articles of Association. It is a CPSC which enjoys autonomy in respect of recruitment, promotion, and other service conditions of below board level employees. The main objective of a Maharatna, which was introduced in 2010, is to empower mega CPSCs to expand their operation and emerge as global giants. So they have a complete autonomy for approving nearly about 5,000 crore worth of projects, and they have several other autonomy while at a board level, especially in terms of their human resources, capital expenditure, and formation of strategic alliances. So Maharatna status is something which gives board level autonomy for a higher range of projects. And that is something that they would have to maintain year on year. They will be listed in the stock exchange. They have an average annual turnover of more than 25,000 crore. Indian Oil's turnover is more than 9 lakh crore turnover, and average annual net worth of more than 15,000 crore, annual average net profit of more than 5,000 crore. And they should have significant global presence and international operations. So this is a very coveted title, and the board level employees and the CEO and others, the chairman and others, always look out for opportunity to maximize it. So holding on to a Maharatna status always gives rise to considerable performance highlights too. So working in a PSU is it's not just about the safety security. It is about delivery and performance and meritorious performance. And next, in terms of the Navratna status, there is one more highlight called Navratna, which is a scheme which was introduced in 1997. And under the scheme, the boards of Navratna CPSCs have delegated and enhanced powers in the areas of capital expenditure, investment in joint ventures, mergers and acquisition, and human resources management. And this Maharatna status is given to a company, a Schedule A company, having obtained excellent or very good MOU rating in the 3-2 or of the last 5 years, or having a composite score of performance to be 60 or above in 6 identified performance parameters. So even in terms of companies, it is about performance parameters that decides the status that you will have, whether you are a Mini Ratna, Navratna, or Maharatna. And Mini Ratna is something that was introduced in October 97 for greater enhanced autonomy and delegation to profit-making companies in Category 1 and Category 2 categories. In Category 1, it is about companies which have made, which have a pre-tax profit, which is a little more than 30 crore. And then the Category 2 is profit of the last 3 years continuously and should have a positive net worth. So these are 3 terms that you will come across when you're looking at a PSU. So Maharatna is at a higher status, then comes Navratna, and then you have Mini Ratna, and there are several companies. There are about 11 Maharatnas and a little more Navratnas, and there are about 72 Mini Ratnas in the country. And while highlighting and closing, there are only 2 points that I would like to say. A person who joins a PSU, there are different highlights of motivational theories that are there, whether it is in terms of Maslow's hierarchical needs of a theory, whether it is physiological needs, safety needs, security needs, or self-actualization needs, or you have Herzberg's 2-factor theory, hygiene factor or motivators. Hygiene factor is about a job and a salary. Motivators are in terms of reward and recognition. But I firmly believe women who are in a public sector are governed and they institutionalize what a self-motivation theory is all about. Self-motivation theory highlights that a human being gets motivated by 3 factors. The factor that governs autonomy, the desire to have control over one's life. And joining a public sector definitely gives you quite a bit of independence on your own life, whether financially or otherwise. And competence, the second factor that this motivation theory highlights, is competence, the desire to have competence or effective control over one's actions. So if you are in a PSU and if you are essaying your role extremely well, you feel motivated because you do have control over what you are essaying as a decision maker or as a team member too. And the third factor of motivation in this is that is what I feel that we women highlight and empower too. It is a theory of a factor of relatedness, the desire to feel connected to others. Every woman who walks into this kind of an organization, it is a big family that surrounds them. And the theory of relatedness or the factor of relatedness is very, very rampant in a PSU, because every retirement message that you would say, they would miss their friends and colleagues much more than an active retired office life. So this is a family atmosphere that a PSU creates, because it's a recruit to retire phenomenon. You make lifelong relationships here, and the kind of friends that you have brings to fore the fact that the self-motivation theory is a strong factor for women to excel in a public sector unit. And as the economist highlighted, this is the last point that I would like to table, and a very interesting point. There was a study by the leading publication, The Economist, which said that India, fails its women. Why does it fail its women? The number of the workforce of women in the Indian sector reduced from about 36% to 25% between 2017 to 2019. By now, during COVID, it would have come much, much lower also. And why does it say it is failing its women? It is because when you are having a dream of reaching a 5 trillion core economy, the participation of women workforce is much lesser when compared to men. And if India can repurpose its women workforce and increase the number of women participating in the workforce, India can be a much, much richer country. And which means it's an economic imperative that we have on hand, that more women participate in the workforce and make the country richer and serve the country. And what better way to serve the country than joining a public sector unit? And the other point that I would like to close with is the article highlighted in India, the goddesses, goddess Lakshmi is very revered and celebrated. And as goddess Lakshmi, and mother, women goddesses that are there in the plethora of celestial beings, women are celebrated only in terms of these celestial highlights. But I would like to table that if you take in the metaphysical one, if you take men as the matter and women as energy, and we in terms of energy providers being in the energy sector, we are normally highlighted, whether the gods or goddesses wearing a lot of ornaments is made fun of. But I would state that women being energy source, and whether it is gold or diamond, they're all metals, they emit energy. The more you wear ornaments or the more you wear jewelry, you are emitting energy. So as a lady who women equivalent to energy, you are an energy source. The ornaments that you're wearing is again an energy source. It's more of an energy that you are giving out to others. And being in a PSU or as a corporate professional, working women are energy providers and energy sources. And more women need to come into the workforce for India to realize its dream of a 5 trillion economy. And getting into a PSU is a great pathway for you, for your prosperity within your family or otherwise. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Madras Management Association. I truly enjoyed.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Nisha, and thank you, Ms. Sabitha. Between the two of you, I think I have also learned a lot. We've come a long way from the image of public sector companies. And I think in the recent years, there have been so many reformations, as you have pointed out. To me, it now looks like a dream job. It has security, it has the challenges of size, it has the reach of number of people. You can impact lives it's like all kinds of jobs rolled in one, and including the challenge of performance and competition like private sector. So I think you have to be a complete professional all round. So that is my takeaway today from both your talks. There's one question I have for both of you, and Ms. Nisha, you can start with your story. I would like to know a little bit about your personal life and how you manage. See, this would have involved a lot of transfers, a lot of moving, a lot of, I don't know, maybe even posted in remote places. And then you have your kids education. So could you tell us how you balance this out and how you managed in life? And after you, maybe Sabitha can also share the same.
Yes, sure, Dr. Lata. This question for me is very simple. I'm in the position of company secretary. From 2007 onwards, I am in the company secretary profile. And basically one great privilege for company secretary that we will be in the registered office always. So the requirement of company secretary is in the, so I am the privileged one to get this position and stayed in this registered office always. But yes, anything requires a great efforts from the family and from the our administration point of view also. Family is a big support, definitely. My in-laws, my parents are there. I have two daughters that I already you mentioned in my profile also. Definitely, bringing any child is difficult, but when we have two daughters in our hand, it needs more care and security to deal with them. My parents are taking care of them. I'm highly thankful to them that whatever I'm doing because of the support from my family and my husband. Enough time I have given in the office up to 10, 11 o'clock hours also at night, but they are too supportive. From the office point of view, from the administrative point of view, ONGC is a wonderful company. As a public sector, I am proud to be ONGCian. Always I will always remain to be a proud ONGCian for all the matters. They have an equal consideration. Yes, that I mentioned work-life balance. They take care of the people, any lady going for any tour or late hours, any level, cars are being provided in ONGC. We are not supposed to go and travel with our own vehicles and transport when we are staying late hours and we are going on any tour also. So when certain entitlements and amenities are there in the office and the atmosphere is good enough, our family also get the support and the comfort and they allow us to grow. It's a vice versa process. When we determine for ourselves, as we always say, when something we determine, then whole universe will come to support you. It's a basic law of attraction also we can say. When we determine to do something, complete universe will come to support you. In my case, I will say that. Once I determine to balance my life professionally and personally, whole universe comes to support me. I have a very good bosses here. Management is too wonderful for ONGC and ONGC Videsh Limited. I'm always thankful to EC of both ONGC and ONGC Videsh. As a company secretary, I've dealt with a number of directors. All was wonderful. Each and every director gave a lot of support and encouragement to every woman in the company. That's too. Also, I got the same. From family friend, I'm totally blessed with my family, husband and my parents and in-laws. So I had a comfortable journey till now. Thank God I had a very comfortable journey till now. So much transfers were not there in my case because I am in the company secretariat profile. Company secretariat profile is little different from the normal profiles of the employees because as per law, we have to be in the registered office. So as long as we are in the profile, we will be working from one place. So that was not a major problem till now for me. But somehow the other factors, it was comfortable. So you can say that anybody can take horse to the water. It's up to you how we will see. So all the opportunities we got in life, I from the management point of view and the family point of view, I'm completely a blessed woman. So you can say the contribution of my determination is 30%, support from both the side is 70%.
Thank you so much for that answer. Ms. Sabitha, would you like to react? Because I think you are in a position maybe to answer some of the questions about location is changing.
Yes, as I said, whether it is a man or a woman, the PSU does not discriminate between your postings. We have a director on the board, Director Refineries, Ms. Sukla Mistry. She has been in 4-5 different locations before she could actually settle down at Delhi and head the, directorial board also. So each of them have passed through certain ways, and we have an executive director at Delhi, Ms. Rashmi Govil. There are senior women, and all of them have had their transfers. If you take my own position too, transfer is a given phenomenon in the marketing vertical or in your refinery vertical or pipeline vertical. So it does not discriminate. There was a moment when, after my MDA Gurgaon, and I was posted in Chennai. I joined itself in northern region. Actually speaking, I am from Chennai, and I had wrote the exam, and I did not expect to get selected. I got selected. I went for the group discussion and the interview. And during my interview, it was Mr. Subir Raha, who was also the head of the complete ONGC group, who gave out the appointment letter to me, and he asked me, "Madam, where do you think you're getting posted?" I said, "Sir, Chennai," I said, with a lot of confidence. Then he said, "No, madam, we don't do that, and you're getting posted in Delhi." So Chennaiite who has never been out of a state at all, I had to go over to Delhi, and I still remember the day when I was traveling by train with my father by my side. There were tears rolling down my eyes. I didn't know what I was going to do, manage. But manage I did, and manage I did very well. So that's the grit and the determination of the human spirit, I would say. And as she said, the ecosystem helps you out. You go out, you reach out, and you understand how you will have to settle down. That was one occasion when I thought, and I had married, and I had 2 small kids, and on your own personal front also, when I wrote the exam and I got selected for MDA Gurgaon, I sat with my kids and I asked them, "Do you think how do you think we need to face this?" They were not too happy, but they encouraged, and my parents encouraged me. My husband stood by me, and that is the reason I could go out. And I'm the first person in Indian Oil to win a gold medal from an MDI institute. So it all depends on how we are able to apply ourselves to the position. The more the challenge, I think we try to come out victorious against, on that. And the ecosystem definitely is a favorable part that helps you out. And when I was shifted to Mumbai again, 2 small kids, lot of opposition from certain members of the family. How can you move out and all those? But move I had to, because there are no other 2 ways that you can form a company that you will not move out. And no relatives, no family support, but the ecosystem helps you. That is where I said the public sector unit comes out to you as a family unit itself. Your friends and colleagues stand in for you, and the friends and colleagues become your family members as you grow into the organization. So that is where that recruit to retire phenomenon is extremely favorable for women, and more women will rise in public sector when they are able to plan their journey in a public sector. Because when you enter, you are a little clueless. You will have to plan your marriage, you will have to plan your childbirth, you should be aware that you will have to have proper ecosystems to take you through these life cycles, and at the same time have a plan for your career growth also. So earlier we did not have too many mentors, but the organization has realized that they need mentors. So I am a mentor to few of my women colleagues, and I keep telling them, this is a great organization if you want to be in larger decision making roles, and plan your career, plan your the challenges that you would face during your biological life cycle. So that is how it works. Any PSU for that matter is a great unit. It's a family unit. The ecosystem.
Thank you, Sabitha. I see some questions popping up, so I'll hand over to Captain. Otherwise, we will, run over.
Thank you, Sabitha. Thank you, Nisha. It's a great insights. We have over 580 viewers watching it online from different. We have got a number of questions. I will try and accommodate as many questions as possible. Let it be a lot of rapid fire so that we can answer as many questions as possible. If you could answer, could be condensed and short to the point. And we have one online from our dear Mr. K. Matmanaban. What are the unique challenges you met during your work? So maybe Sabitha, I'll give it to you maybe this question, because what are the unique challenges? Then thereafter, maybe Nisha, you can tell in the perspective of being a company secretary. Yes, it's always challenging where at times you have to put something which is not really liked by the board and others. How do you come up some of the complex situation as a woman in public sector in compliance of various provisions? What you, Sabitha, first?
In a public sector, as a woman, when you are entering into it, I would like to state that the challenges that you are facing there is a reflection of the social mindset. So many times, as I said, when I went into MDI, I was the only woman in a 44 strong male classroom group who had come from different PSUs, and many times you find yourself to be the only woman in a big meeting room where people would talk about very logical, rational steps. So as a woman, when we bring in our innate kind of nurturing viewpoints, there would be kind of very silent opposition to it. The way you take it forward is for you to put your foot down at certain places, but at the same time make it very obvious that certain decisions will have to go through for the larger benefit of the customers whom you are working for. So many times it is not just about PSU men or anything like that. It is the reflection of the social problems that is, a problem with any of the PSU that I think. So if I'm going to be fighting men in the in my home front or other front, it is the same phenomenon here too.
Thank you, Sabitha. Nisha, you face a different challenge as a boardroom, corporate boardroom. How do you manage? How do you overcome that?
Yes, Captain. You are right. Compliance is a complex model for any company. And as a compliance officer, definitely any leakage is not at all affordable to me. So, but when it comes to the boardroom and compliances purposes, I have to be very cautious. Simultaneously, my EC, my board has to be very cautious along with me. That it's a collective effort, you can say. If I am lacking anything, then definitely Director of Finance, MD, CMD are taking care also that certain things should not be missed. Now coming to the boardroom, yes, as of now, there is a requirement of women director on the board. If some women directors on the board and I am a company secretary as a woman, it's a very challenging, and you can say I have to prove myself up to the mark. When a woman director is sitting with me on the board of ONGC Videsh Limited, I was board coordinator from 2015 also in ONGC also. So I have to be very cautious, very confident, very composed. So at times I feel I should not feel any personality traits, any administrative traits. So certain challenges I used to feel in these when I started my career as a company secretary, but somehow with the help of my seniors, by grooming, I am able to cope up with that. Now I feel confident whenever I sit in the boardroom. CS always sit next to the chairman. It's always a challenge when you are sitting next to the chairman that any small fire will come to you only. So we have to be very cautious when we are sitting in the boardroom next to the chairman. But I am confident that I tried my best and would do better and better in the near future.
Thank you, Nisha. We got a number of questions. I'll try and accommodate as many as them. Another 5-10 minutes are available with us now. Here's a question from Mrs. Ramani. Any one of you can attend this. How can women from other organizations build strong network and alliance with the public sector to enhance their professional growth and opportunities? So you have spoken so much about within the public sector. How do you think you can, the public sector can help the women from other organizations when they look up to you with a lot of reference? Is there anything on this situation happen?
Yes, Nisha, you can go ahead.
As such, no specific forum in my understanding is there between private and public sector. Maybe Madam Natraj may throw a better light from HR perspective. But definitely, see, when we are going to the professional conventions, if I'm coming from the chartered accountant and company secretary point of view also, there are always institute conventions or the management association conventions where all the ladies, where all the employees are attending. If I'm going to a convention of company secretary every year in different locations, I am coming across many ladies in the private sector also. There we build a very good network. There we also build a very good, great WhatsApp networks. day-to-day coordinations, plus minuses, professional upbringings among each other between private and public sector. So as per my understanding, whatever the professional institutes and management associations are arranging the seminar and conventions for the purpose, they are getting very much comfortable with other colleagues of different organizations, different forums and different sectors. For anything relating to which has come up along with the public sector, that Madam Natraj may please bring in the picture.
Yeah, that's a lovely question. Actually, the question is, how can other women forge, networking capabilities with public sector women? We can only answer it in terms of, as she said, which are the forums that we are part of. But at the same time, the division between that private and public sector need not exist at all, even in terms of any award functions or everything. There is a separate award given to private sector. There's a separate award on public, probably in terms of the base or the metrics with which they go about. But having said that, as a PSU and as a Maharatna PSU, many of us are actually part of many professional organizations, whether in, from a HR perspective, all the leading organization, whether it is SHRM, the HR Management Institute, or the International Institute of Training and Development, or it is in terms of the Management Association institutes itself. Public sectors always come forward to nurture and provide support. In that way, we are always available. Probably, as you said, women need to come out and reach out also, both from the private sector to public sector and from public sector to private sector. There is a little bit of a void.
Great. A similar question on these lines only is again from Mr. Gurunathan from Chennai. He says, what role can men play in supporting the rise of women in public sector? How can allyship be encouraged and fostered? And what are the policy in quick terms that where men are supposed to help the women?
Can I answer that, Nisha madam?
Sure, ma'am.
The way that men can support the rise of women could basically be men should start supporting women in their normal personal and social life. That is how men can support women in any kind of a corporate role that a woman likes to undertake. On that point, I would like to still say, there are a lot of women who are in academics. There would be in any kind of a college, you will find more women than boys, and they would outdo the men also. And many of them get into a corporate sector also. But as it goes by, you will not find the women growing up the ladder. Where do the women go? Where do they get lost? So that is always a question with me. Women do much better than boys in academics, but many times you get professional degrees, whether it's an engineering or an MBA degree, to marry you off successfully to US, UK, Europe, or anybody else. So the mindset needs to change for men in terms of women are not only for marriage, it is for them to realize their own self potential also. If that mindset changes, the policies would automatically change within organizations. That's my answer.
There's another very interesting question which has come. They say this again from Mr. Ravi Nathan from Coimbatore. He says, Madam, can you provide examples of organizations or countries that have made significant progress in promoting gender equality and women leadership in public sector domain? Because I know you spoke about so many Navaratnas, Maharatnas in India, and being in armed forces, I know how much we depend on public sector undertaking. So do you have any international, because we always example some of the best management principles we see what's happening around the world. So like that, do you have any example where the public sector around the world are helped, which not that much followed or maybe lacking in India?
The large organizations like Shell or BP have senior women on board, especially in whether it is in functional areas or in terms of support service areas. And if you are looking at public sector organizations, many of the state-run organizations in Europe and many a times in Asia Forum, you have leading women. Because I have been, when I went to Davos, Switzerland to address and participate in a lecture, I found the senior women were from state-run organizations. So that that speaks volume for international bodies giving equal forum to women to rise, which means they have enabling policies and regulations also to help women rise in their organizations. You have women politicians across. Many of your women politicians are again, one of the best that you can look at, and which means the country or the corporates provide an equal platform for them.
Sure, maybe you would like to address, maybe the question has come from, because you are from Videsh. Such a thing. Yeah, maybe you would like to. Yes.
Yeah, as per the data which I have gone through some time back, also the United States, Sweden, and Germany are the three countries which have equal opportunities, equal work-life balance, and equal workforce for men and women. Highest among them was Sweden. In fact, I have looked at some graphs also at that time. At one point of time, the percentage of women workforce in Sweden was 74%. So nowadays, that was the picture about 91, 92. Nowadays, it's slightly coming down, but still in these three countries, United States, Sweden, and Germany, the percentage of women workforce is much, much bigger than any other countries. India is also striving to achieve more and more. The basic problem, again, I'm saying it's not the country or economy or management. As a woman, we have to come out, first of all. Why we are limiting ourselves? Our limits have to be subsided first, then the country and company or economy will support us. So again, I am making an appeal to every woman to come out and think that yes, we can do. Definitely, word is open for us.
Great. I will try and squeeze in 2 or 3 more questions before we reach 7:15. Here's a question which is very strong. I don't agree to this, but I thought I will anyway take your views. It's come from Ms. Pavitra. She says, Madam, how can women support and empower each other in the pursuit of leadership roles? I believe women are the biggest enemy of women empowerment in my organization. Is it true in your public sector? Because women competition is so high. But you brought it out very beautifully in your thing, Nisha. But is it such a serious issue? But I don't agree, because women empowerment is. Yeah.
We strongly, as a team, Nisha and I would strongly object to that. We do not actually believe that women are women's enemies, because as leaders we have been networking and mentoring women to rise up to leadership roles. But having said that, purposeful performance definitely helps in women rendering and essaying meaningful roles. So the comment that is coming probably is out of more of looking at their roles as a job, a 9-to-5 job. But those who would like to rise in their career, they are definitely finding co-workers or co-women who support them, who reach out, and they are able to take it forward. And that is how it works. And women are women's best champions, I would say, because we understand each other's problems very well. And that, whether it, I would like to talk about it openly also, whether it is your motherhood or a maternity or even menopause. I am a victim of a delayed menopause. So other women understand me much better when I, highlight my problem to them. So women understand women's problems better, and we are the best champions for each other. So going forward, you will find more people coming out and expressing.
Excellent, madam. Nisha, would you like to add?
Just to supplement this, we have Women Development Forum in every public sector, sir, now. In every regions, Women Development Forum headed by the senior ladies of every region. They get together, every ladies, they discuss the problems of every ladies, they create many programs also. So it's a development of women within organization is very, very bright. Male colleagues are also supporting. So I don't think so any interest is there for the women to work in public sector right now from any perspective. We are comfortable enough to deal in the public sector.
Okay. I'll take 2 last questions. There's a question from Vijay from Bangalore. He says, how can women effectively navigate the potential biases and barriers they may encounter while striving for senior leadership roles? I believe it is more so in government and public sector undertaking. Is it true, madam?
Nisha, or there are the biases, whether it is a confirmation bias or an anchoring bias. Confirmation bias is again something which any of your co-worker or your senior might harbor, thinking that she's a woman, she's got married, she will have her baby, and she will not be applying herself fully to her job. So it is about being aware that these biases and prejudices might exist in men, and how as a woman I can take it forward to further my role. So basically it is awareness and understanding. This awareness and understanding will come only if women are educated about it, that these are the challenges that you will face when you are going through certain life cycle challenges, or it is in terms of your role challenges also. So basically education. To that extent, there are a lot of sensitization programs that the company takes up. In Indian Oil, we have women empowerment programs, special women empowerment programs, where women are selected and given almost like a 1.5 year training on them. They come back every month, they will have to go back and relate the experiences or challenges that they have. And we have mentors. We have women mentors who are mentoring others. Women sponsors, that's a new program that has happened. So mentoring, sponsoring, making people aware, and actually identifying women leaders and training them. These are all aspects which can help women to glide over or take over these challenges.
I know a story. I know an anecdote from the Indian Air Force. On Asha, she's a paratrooper, free fall jumper, and skydiving champion. And she delivered a baby, and she entailed for 6 months of maternity leave. But she got back to work within 30 days and went on to training, went to Switzerland and took part of the World Championship and got a medal in the World Championship. It's a woman, that I call real woman empowerment, Good. So one last question for the evening, and this is a very interesting question. This is one from Mangaleshwar. He says, are there any specific skills or competencies that women should focus on developing in order to thrive in leadership roles within the organization, more so in public sector? And what's your personal view on this, and which you focus and develop for your senior leadership roles?
May I, ma'am?
Nisha, please, Nisha, go ahead.
The public sector, or in fact, maybe every sector, every forum is giving equal training opportunities to both the workforce. There is no bifurcation. In fact, I told in my presentation that certain trainings are compulsory for women here in ONGC and ONGC group of companies, in where I am interested. Technical as well as non-technical trainings. So it is again up to us how we deal with the situation, how we deal with ourselves. If we are dealing with ourselves well, the others will definitely deal with us. So there is no bias, no discrimination from management side to any of these male or female categories. Everything is equal in the public sector. From training point of view, you will get 1% more for a woman than a man. All the areas. Every areas, women are getting more training, more nominations, compulsory nominations. Every factor is there. But we have to come up, we have to accept that we are not being biased, first of all. Nobody is having biased with us. So when we accept this fact, we will go front, then definitely things are open for us. There is no such bias for any upbringing or grooming for us.
No,
would like to add something, Sabitha? Please go ahead.
This question is again a reflection of, highlight that when we say that so many women are entering the forum, how come we are seeing a few women rising up the ladder? And as I said, a PSU is an equal opportunity provider, but at the same time, it expects you to be moving from one city to the other city or shifting from one state to the other. And you will need to plan, be aware what a PSU job is, take on the challenges, map your career journey, and ensure that your ecosystem works from the beginning. So these are the aspects that women should be aware of when they are taking up a PSU job.
Great. We take one last question. This comes from Ms. Ajita from Intellect Design Arena. Quite an interesting question. He said, are we looking at only at the rosy picture which is being depicted? Because of course, when we talk about your organization, you have to talk more about rosy picture, but you can also share how about skilling for both the gender? How is it taken up in your organization in terms of skilling?
Very valid.
You did mention, I think,
yes, very valid.
the woman has gone on high seas and.
Yeah, that's it. It also reflects on what I had highlighted earlier. It is about when we say that women have a great opportunity to grow, we see only about 8 to 10% of a participation. But we are very sure, Nisha and I are very sure that this kind of a percentage is going to get lessened, and there is going to be more participation of women in public sector in the years to come, because as women we are making them aware. But it is not just about a rosy picture. It is about how you are tackling the challenges, whether it is in a private sector or in a public sector. The social challenges that you face is what you face in the public sector too. But having said that, it is not only about presenting the rosy picture. We are here to say that public sector is a lovely place for you to work because of the women-friendly policies that are already there as a procedure. It is a policy, it is a regulation. It doesn't change because of person to person. So when that is there, it is for us to make use of it and make our career to grow. That is where we are trying to highlight.
Yeah, true, Sabitha. You went to MDA Gurgaon because Indian Oil sent you for 1 or 2 years to do that course. That
it was not a nomination. It was not a nomination. I had to get selected for it.
Yes, that's something. I know. I agree.
Exams,
Yes.
350 others. And then, only when I got selected, they said, okay, we are nominating you. That's how it was.
Thanks so much. I think we totally run out of time. And Lata, I would like to say any final words or we close. As I mentioned, over 580 volunteers, viewers are watching this program. Lata, you want to say anything?
No, just a line to say thank you to both Ms. Nisha and Sabitha for, enlightening us about, all the developments and the opportunities for women, the training opportunities, online training available. So I think the picture is, even if it looks rosy, I'm happy that it looks rosy. So it's really true. It's not just a rosy picture. I think it's true. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sabitha. Thank you. I think you are separate by the distance. What we do is we want to present a memento on behalf of MMA. The digital memento, what we do is we do a lot of work with poor government schools, and we do a lot of CSR work. In that initiative, what you would like to do, that is we pick up poor children. Can I have the slide, please? Sheikh? Yes. This is what we want to do, that on behalf of MMA, to present textbook to the poor students. A lot of poor students, we buy textbook and give it on your behalf, because what makes MMA is very strong and very popular is some outstanding personalities like you come and speak. It adds a lot of value to us. This is what we do, and this is for Sabitha. On behalf of you, we are presenting books to poor children. You can see the picture where we work. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, you don't know other slide? Okay. There are a lot of pictures.
Captain, I think this, sorry to interrupt you, but this I think could have been the best memento that we could have received, because books are a great way and reaching out to them. And I also acknowledge my daughter. I sent the message to others. My daughter is also part of this VC, and she heard us talking. And so this is what the true testimony.
This is what is women empowerment. Two of you come and sharing the views. Really appreciate it. And thanks so much. Thanks to Mr. Padmanabhan for connecting us to Nisha. And Nisha, we would like to continue our engagement with you for many more events in MMA. Sabitha is already known to us very well. We keep engaging with her. Thank you, Lata, for joining.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks to all the viewers who joined us online, watching also various social media portals. You are the people who are really encouraged to bring some outstanding event. Keep coming to MMA. Keep watching all the programs and get empowered. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Till we meet again. Good night.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.